definitely say we've got our work cut out for us. First things first, hydration. Well, hey babes, what is up? It's Haley and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to our Decorate With Me vlog. If you guys have stuck around, you know that in one of our previous videos, I did an entire home thrift with me where I thrifted so many amazing accessories and pieces that I can use to decorate throughout this new home. My husband and I renovated this fixer-upper from top to bottom. And as much as the majority of the stuff in the house are done, every inch of this place can use some personality and definitely some character. We've got so much wooden shelving that require decor, my coffee station, my cooking station. I want to use all these pieces here to decorate it, but also make it practical while looking so aesthetic and Pinterest worthy too. So with all that being said, let's head in and do the ultimate decorate with me. And let's start with one of my first finds, which is this mug tree, but you could tell that it's definitely looking a little bit worn. And initially I thought that we might as well go ahead and spray paint this, but after looking at some inspo pictures and getting feedback from you guys, you're totally right. We should actually stain it a darker wood. So I'm gonna bring you on over. We'll get started with that. Okay, so here is all the wooden decor that I want to go ahead and take care of. Like I said, we have the mug tree, which I definitely want to stain a darker, as well as this stunning tray that I thrifted that has the most beautiful circle legs. This one I got for $9.99, and I'm pretty sure that it was a cutting board. This is a perfect tray to just display maybe salt and vinegar or even my coffee syrups. These I've had for a while and I've always wanted to stain them. They are some wood candlesticks, but they have like an orange tone about them, which I don't love. So I think making them darker would be stunning, but this would be the absolute perfect thing to be a mail slot for us to put right by the door to put some mail inside. And then you've got some hooks here for the keys. I can't believe that I found these two on the same trip. Thinking to put this one by our garage door, which we have a second entrance, and then this one by the front. I am going to simultaneously film all of these DIYs for Instagram. If you guys are not already following me, it's Haley's Corner with 2 R's. I love to post little short form content of all of this stuff for you to save for inspiration. First thing I'm gonna do is just remove all the stickers. I know sanding can be overwhelming, but this little machine costs $35. At Home Depot or on Amazon, like these are not expensive, but you could do so much with them. Well, we're officially done with the sanding machine, and that took what, like 10 minutes? Now I'm just gonna go and clean off all of the leftover dust. And the best part about doing projects like these is that it doesn't need to be perfect. What I actually like about vintage pieces is that all the little nicks and cuts in the wood are what actually give it even more character, so I actually prefer it. But before going in with my stain, I will be going with a wood conditioner. This does exactly what it sounds like. It conditions the wood before you go ahead and stain it. It's important so that when you go and apply the stain, it all applies evenly because everything is saturated well. So now that everything is pre-conditioned and ready for us, I'm gonna go in with my stain. I decided I'm actually gonna stain everything, even this, a little bit darker because it is slightly orange for me. With items that are really orange, what I would recommend is to first give it a whitewash with Simply White. This is pretty much just like a very white stain that usually gets rid of a lot of the yellow. Let me first see how these apply when they're together, and I always just like to mix it in one of these jars to keep it easy. You could see I don't really calculate anything. I kind of just make the formulas up and see if I like it as I go. Using the same cloth with the pre-conditioner, I'm just gonna dip that in. Yes guys, this is gonna be perfect. I don't know if you could already tell, that is a really good color, and it matches my wooden shelves really well too. You know, a part of me is thinking add a teeny bit of white just to cancel out some of that yellow. Trial and error, guys, that's all this is. Oh yes, perfect. See how that's orange and that's a little bit cooler. I love it. It's got like a slight gray which canceled out all those yellows. Perfect wood color. Okay, I have to say, I'm happy with everything except for the mug rack. Honestly, my fault probably. I did a terrible job with the sanding, but you can kind of see that it's just so spotty everywhere. It just doesn't look good. I'm gonna resort to my original plan of spray painting this. I can either do espresso brown, which honestly, a little bit boring. So I also have this terracotta flat color, which honestly could look pretty cool. And I also have a matcha gloss, which if you don't know what this looks like, here is a planter pot that I actually spray painted in that matcha color. It used to be purple and it looks so cute now. I think we're gonna go with the matcha color. Let's take it outside and give it a good spray. I don't like it. I spray painted it and now it literally looks like plastic. Honestly guys, I need to stop doubting myself. My initial instincts was Haley spray painted black, and once that dries, it's exactly what I'm gonna do. Well, here's something I learned. Sometimes even your initial instincts don't pan out. You guys, spray painting this in general was honestly my biggest regret. I didn't like the way the black looked, so then I tried to give it like a stone color. Didn't like how that looked either. So I didn't even really end up using this to decorate anything because it just didn't work out. I also completely forgot about this book stand that I got from At Home. I thought it could actually look really cool, but the wood is a bit too light, so I am gonna slightly darken it with the same stain. And look how easy it is to stain items that don't have varnish on them. Keep that in mind if you are at the thrift store looking for home decor, specifically for something to make darker or change the color of it. Try to find something that is not coated with any kind of polish or varnish on top, because it's so much easier to change the color of it. Like that was the before, that's the after. I actually have right over here a tray already that was never sealed, and you can see that I have like some stains from previous oil containers. But in order for it not to happen with any of our new thrift pieces, you're gonna go in with polyurethane. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is actually what I used whenever I redid my dining table and our coffee table, except I used the actual canned version. This dries down clear, it's scratch resistant. So I'm gonna do a couple light coats of these with 30-minute wait times in between. And then once that's done, it's gonna be ready for styling. So while some of our wood decor is drying, let me show you some other wood pieces I found that I have other ideas of how to style them in the house. For Aaliyah's room specifically, you guys saw this heart hanger. It's got the wooden pegs on it, and I think this would be absolutely adorable for her to hang up her jackets in her room. Speaking of Aaliyah's room, I completely forgot to show you guys this in the last video. For $6, I was able to find this tiny little rocking chair at the thrift store. My goal is to create an adorable little reading nook for Aaliyah. So let me take this up into her room right now and kind of figure out the positioning of where I want everything. This is actually our guest room slash playroom. If you guys remember, this is what it looked like. We went ahead and changed the floors as well as painted in here. But yes, the guest bed is literally a Murphy bed. This is the most genius design. Whoever came up with this is so smart. You basically just go ahead and pull the bed out like this. And there you go. In a few seconds, I have a full queen size bed in here for whenever we have guests. But I don't want to focus too much on the guest bedroom aspect of it today. I want to focus on making this a really cute playroom for the girls. But as always, step one into making a room very decorated and cozy is to set down a rug. I knew that I wanted something that was practical, cushiony, but still beautifully aesthetic at the same time. So when I came across this brand called House of Noah, oh my gosh, you guys, this is like the most genius product ever. They are actually a brand that make beautiful play mats, tumbling mats, fatigue rugs, runners, like every kind of rug or foam mat that you can imagine for your home. But they have the most beautiful designs available on their website. This is their Gemma Little Nomad play mat. I saw some of the pictures on the website, and truly when this is put together, it looks like an actual rug. So let's put it to the test. I'm gonna set down all the pieces and lay it out, and hopefully it will spruce up the place a ton. Absolutely love this room. I'm so excited for them to see it. The fact that it's like majority beige, but it has these subtle hints of these pastel pinks. It is so beautiful. It is so feminine, but still neutral too. Right now, I am sitting on the floor and I actually feel so comfortable. My butt has a little bit of a cushion, so as the girls sit and play on here, they're gonna have a nice surface. The best thing about this, because it's not an actual rug, you can fully wipe them down and you can keep them clean. So if you have diaper changes, little accidents, if the kids are snacking on them, you just give it a little spray and wipe it down. It's good as new. These are also amazing for new crawling babies, whether you have a little newborn, you want to do some tummy time. Again, this is the 8 foot by 8 foot, which is perfect for this room, but they have bigger sizes as well as smaller ones too. So you can truly find the perfect playmat for your space. Aaliyah, I already know, is going to be so excited for this. If you want a mat in your home that is a little bit more portable, then this tumbling mat is an amazing option too. Vegan faux leather lining, which again makes it waterproof and wipeable. Aaliyah's in that toddler age right now where she's constantly tumbling and somersaulting. This is going to be amazing for them to play with. And again, with how portable and foldable it is, this is going to be so convenient for you to keep in your home. I can literally store it right back here. House of Noah is honestly my go-to place when it comes to kids play. So whether you're a new mom, expecting mom, or you want to gift a mom in your life, I know that these are going to be lifelong items that are going to grow with the kids as they get older, from baby stage to toddler stage. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to House of Noah down below so you guys can check out all the beautiful designs and patterns that they have in their play mat. Even if you don't have kids, House of Noah has stunning mats and runners for your kids kitchen, for your bathroom, anywhere you want to add a pop of design in the most aesthetic patterns and colors to suit your vibe. You can click my link below or use the code haleyscorner with 2 R's at the end to get 10% off any order on their site. I love it, my girls love it too, and it's the decor item that ties this entire room together. There's still so much that I want to do here. The reason I didn't really put anything up on the walls is because I want to add character to these walls as well. I'm thinking to do something like a beadboard paneling, maybe some board and batten, and then like paint half of the room. That could be so fun too. Okay, when it comes to the brassware, your best friend is going to be Brasso. This stuff is absolutely amazing at getting rid of any kind of tarnish that you find on antique pieces because it's truly magic when it comes to restoring. So I'm just gonna clean up the remainder of these finds, and then once it's all nice, clean and prepped, then we'll get into figuring out where to put it all. I am so excited to actually get into the decorating, you guys. I thought that we would first start off with filling some of my containers that I'm gonna have. I got these from Amazon. They're going to be what holds my syrups for my coffee station. And then this little set I actually got from Target. I'm absolutely obsessed with the ribbed glass and the dark copper nozzle. These are just going to be for some oils that I want to keep by. My cook area. Starting off with my syrups, got blueberry and salted caramel. I made these little labels using my Cricut last week. My countertop is looking atrocious, but we have a lot of options, so it's good. Okay, so for right over here, I've been seeing so many photos on Pinterest styling some of your cooking essentials just like this. I'm talking oils, some utensils, salt, pepper, all that stuff. Remember that tray that I told you about? I actually stained it a little bit darker, hoping that this oil ring will go away. It didn't, but that's okay. Hopefully with the stuff we're gonna put on it, we're gonna cover that up. Most of the photos I've seen had some kind of elevation, so I'm gonna keep this tray right here. Okay, next I'm going to accessorize it with some decor for the season. Right now we are in fall, so I have this black vase with this dry wheatgrass, and this is what I'm gonna use to cover up that oil stain. Perfect. Sesame oil and avocado oil, the 2 oils that I use the most and I wanna keep on hand. We've got a ton of outlets in the kitchen. This is not necessarily one that I'll ever be using. So to cover it up, I'm actually gonna be using one of my favorite cookbooks. I have this entire line from Target. It's the Magnolia Table Cookbooks. I actually really love the recipes in here. So this is one of those things that I was like, okay, unless I find brass ones just like this, I'm gonna get them new. So I got these from At Home. And finally, another festive touch, something else that I like to swap out with the seasons is candles. Look at this adorable little acorn candle. It smells so good too. And again, paired with this dry wheatgrass plant, I feel like it very much gives it a fall vibe. Cute. Okay, moving on to a utensil holder. I have 2 options. One is bought, one is thrifted. This one I got from At Home. I really love the shape and the color, of course, that it's light. This one I actually thrifted at a thrift store for $1.99. I do really love it, but I don't know, for some reason, I feel like it's a little bit too small for the space. So I think I'm going to save this as a different decor element, and I'm gonna use this big one instead. Yeah, I think I like that better. I know it feels like a lot of white right now, but something you guys actually have to keep in mind, this kitchen is not done. We are actually still needing to do a backsplash here. Perfect opportunity actually for me to ask you, since you have such a good view of my kitchen, what do you guys think I should do? Here are my 2 options for the kind of looks I'm going for. So like taking a look at my kitchen right now, I'm planning to do the backsplash all the way up to the ceiling. So behind this built-in ventilation as well. Help me and vote. Should I do a brick style or should I do a vertical stack style? Your opinions help me guys so much with making these decisions. But the whole reason as to why I'm mentioning it is because these tiles I chose out have like a variation of creams and beiges. So it's not gonna look as stark white as the wall does right now. But anyway, here is our little corner all done and styled. I'm very happy with it. Now if I need to season with some salt and pepper, I got it. I want to reach my oils, I've got it. My utensils are right here, and then one of my favorite cookbooks. What I had in mind for this corner is to kind of create a little open cookbook stand situation. Okay, so to display this, obviously if I put it just like that, it's fine. But what I actually learned from browsing on Pinterest, a lot of people said that try not to have things floating in your kitchen. What does floating mean? It means that they're kind of like just placed on the countertop without something to elevate it or ground it. I have this super heavy marble Lazy Susan that I thrifted. I decided I want to keep this on the counter at all times, so whenever we're having dinner, if I want to put like a bunch of dips or something on the table, I can reach this easily. So perfect opportunity to use this to help ground our cookbook stand. That's perfect. Then I'm gonna put the stand right on top. And then for the actual cookbook, honestly, I think even if you leave a cookbook open on your countertop, it just looks so cozy and so homey, like you're about to go cook a meal right now, especially when the photos of the food just look so good. And I basically keep the recipe book open on my counter so that the next day when I come and see it, because I'm hungry, I'm more motivated to cook it. That's the amazing thing about physically having a cookbook in your kitchen. You're actually more likely to make these recipes versus when you have it on your phone. I know I'm not the only one. Comment down below. Do you guys have like a food or recipes folder on like your Instagram or Pinterest that you save a bunch of recipes to, but you rarely actually go in and check the recipes? Is it just me? This minestrone soup looks so good and cozy, so let's display that open to motivate me to make it today or maybe tomorrow. And putting it on a Lazy Susan, you guys, is genius because this way I can just turn the recipe book when I need to grab my ingredients and then turn it back when I'm ready to go cook. That was a 2-in-1 that I'm very happy about. And then this last thing I'm gonna add, I think is just a really good touch. This is a tiny cute little ring holder that I thrifted for 99 cents. So to fill in this white space, I'm just gonna put it right here, and then when I'm ready to cook, I can use this to catch all my rings. I love it. Cute, but also very, very practical. Our cooking station is all ready. Next up in the kitchen, I think we should move on to my coffee station. It's how I start my morning all the time, with a nice cold coffee or matcha in hand. So we gotta make that station work for us. Let's do it. Okay, sorry you guys. I know that it's a little backlit here, but in this time of the day, we have so much sunlight coming in, which honestly makes me so happy. So when I went to the thrift store and I found this, and I thought that that dish would be perfect to display the coffee syrups that we went ahead and labeled. So I'm just gonna put these right like that. And then I do actually have space for one more thing. My glass straws, I used to keep them in my cupboard, but it's so much easier when they're right next to my machine. Instead of keeping it in this glass, I thought I would go ahead and add back in some of that milky, creamy texture with this ribbed one. You're gonna see a lot of vertical lines in a lot of my dishware because I just love the look of that. Plus, you could see a lot of our cabinets have like vertical lines on it too, so I like to tie that back into the decor where I can. So I'm just gonna keep the straws in here. And look at that, all 3 items. It's a perfect fit. And then something else that I saw a lot on Pinterest photos is that people layer cutting boards and stuff behind trays that hold stuff, and it adds like a level of dimension. Right now I feel like there's just a lot of white going on, so I wanted to add a fun pop of texture. I think placing it right behind may be a good look, but I don't know. This is all trial and error. We're just trying things out. You know what? I'm actually really into it. All my essentials are right here on hand, and you have to admit, this is gonna be so much fun to use compared to having to always unscrew these and keep them in the bottom drawer. I could just do a couple pumps of this into my coffee and I'm all good. And then I have all of my tea and matcha essentials on hand right next to it too. I am still keeping my coffee pods in this jar, but I do want to keep it off of the counter. I feel like it's really big and bulky, and now is the perfect opportunity to take advantage of the pretty shelves that we have above and decorate it. I was kind of trying to mimic whatever I saw in these photos using items I already had. Do you guys remember these 2 framed flower pieces that I got at the thrift store for like $2 or $3 each? But it will be really fun to add a touch of color here. Next, I'm gonna go and add some dishes. I have these stunning ribbed dishes that I got from Castlery, and I know so many of you are probably gonna comment, Haley, putting dishes on open shelving is such a bad idea because you have dust and everything. Let me tell you, there's ways around it. The thing that usually gets dusty is just the top bowl. So every time I wanna grab one of these, I never need footwear bowls at once. I'll just lift up the top one and I'll grab the second one. Is it more practical to put it in cabinets? Yes, but these dishes are so pretty that honestly, I love that it can double as decor. Many may not agree, and that's okay, but I need to fill these shelves up with something, and dishes just make sense in a kitchen. These humongous ones, honestly, I rarely ever use. They're just so big for anything that I'm eating. I use the smaller version of this, which I want to keep more on hand, so I don't mind putting these on the top shelf because I rarely grab them. Can we please just take a moment how pretty the cups are? Having this accessible is great, and to keep dust away from it, just put it face down on the shelves. Okay, this corner right here I think is the perfect spot to keep my coffee pods because it is just so easy to reach right over there. But looking at this picture, I actually see that she used a book to elevate the plant, which I think is such a good idea because right now this does look like it's floating a little bit. So you guys remember when we thrifted those decorative books? That's when this is gonna come in handy. The paper cover on these is never aesthetic, but always make sure to look on the inside because usually you're gonna be surprised with how beautiful it is. So let me stack the pods on top of this. Okay, I love that. We have our touch of color, we have our practical items. Now's where you sprinkle in the decor, specifically items that have more gold in it. I actually found this lamp at the thrift store for like $3, but I was obsessed with this paper pleated lampshade it had. Again, vertical lines, tying it all in. I only realize now that the button here is missing to turn the lamp on and off. So at this point, it's just a useless piece of decor. But but I actually think it can work because it has some height to it. I think it'll be great to fill in that spot right here. I love that. It gives it like cafe vibes. And then same thing with right up here. Again, something with height. I'm gonna tie in my gold candlesticks. These are so easy to thrift, you guys. We did it. I actually really like it. We've got the things on hand that we want, the dishes as well, which I really wanted to integrate somehow. The plant and then the little decor. I think it's amazing, and layering the artwork right behind is what gives it that vintage touch. I mean, can you already see it? Can you already see me starting my mornings here, making my coffee? Yep. I'm happy. And finally, we've got these 3 shelves right here. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm like struggling so much with what to decorate these with. I kind of have an idea for like the first shelf, but when it comes to the second and third, no idea. So let me assemble that first and then we'll see. I thought I might as well start off with the rest of these dishes set. I know this is like a huge set and they're also stunning. These are the bowls, which I actually do use very often. So having them on the first shelf is gonna make it more accessible. Okay, I got this for $3.99. You can still see the sticker tag residue. I gotta get that off. But again, this is a really great way if you want to add height to certain spaces of your shelf. It's also that dark mango wood compared to the lighter gray tone of my shelves. So I actually like that touch of differentiation. Okay, remember how I told you guys I actually use the small plates a lot more than the big ones? That's why I want to really have it on hand. So I could keep it like that, but I don't love that the bowls and the plates are like on the same level. So gonna grab another one of our thrifted books. This one I got for $2.99. Needlessly simple. It's literally a book all about baking. And the inside, guys, the most beautiful chocolate hardcover ever. It's honestly just so pretty. Plus the dark brown of this book will match really well with the dark brown of that charcuterie board. So let me layer it right underneath. So pretty. Okay. And I actually store a bunch of coarse kosher salt in here whenever I'm going to kosher my vegetables. If you guys have no idea what that means, whenever I wash things like lettuce or berries, we soak them in salt. That's actually how you make them kosher because salt helps extract all of those dirt and bugs. So having this on hand, very good. What is this called, you guys? I have no idea. Please comment down below if you know what this thing is called. But it's made of marble and it is so beautiful. So I thought that would be the perfect thing to add onto that bottom shelf. Okay, I love it. This one turned out like very classic and neutral. Honestly, everything here I use, so I like to be able to access it. The top 2 shelves are honestly harder to reach because it's also in a corner area of my kitchen. So that being said, I don't know, I have to like figure out what to put up there, but I do think that maybe the second frame can work here too, and it will kind of like help tie it in with the other shelf. All right, I have to admit that does look pretty. I feel like the height of the shelves is perfect for that framed artwork. And then you know what? I have such a good idea. I basically got these 2 mugs for lattes in Target, but I actually think that the colorway of this will match the frame really well because it has that green blue color just like the frame. So maybe I could stack this right on top of the plates. Oh, that's cute. I have this candelabra that we thrifted. It's actually beautiful and I would use it to light my Shabbat candles. So maybe that could be used to fill in that spot there. Okay, well that's pretty. But honestly, like I don't feel confident about anything else that I'm gonna put up there for now. I'm actually thinking there needs to be a plant here. But I don't want to add another pothos plant because I have so many. Maybe if you guys have any plant suggestions that would look really nice. Maybe one of those plants that like droops over and hangs. But I don't really know what that's called. So let me know down below if you have any ideas for finishing up this area. Because there's some places like here I feel very confident about, but over there so far it looks good, but I don't know what to put in that top shelf. So please give me recommendations below. Well, you guys, we definitely did it. I mean, just look at some of these corners in the kitchen. I think it makes the biggest difference to add a touch of accessories, thrifted vibes into your home. Like I said, there is still a ton to do. Still need some decor for this area. And as much as I obviously love our living room, I still need to put some artwork up here. But like I mentioned, I am waiting until we add some wall trim to the back. It's something that will take a little bit of time. I think I'm gonna do it when we're back from our trip in Canada. If you guys are watching up to this point, you know that you're the real MVPs. I love the ones that stick around all the way till the end. If you are watching up to this point, then comment down below. Decor galore. That was Eran's suggestion. Eran, I honestly don't know how to spell galore. If you guys don't know either, it's okay, I won't judge you. But comment it down below. Let me know your thoughts on everything. Taking a look at these shelves, is there anything you'd change, anything you'd add, any recommendations for whatever is still empty? I love hearing your thoughts and it gives me so much inspiration going forward. I can't wait for the girls to get home to play in their new playroom. They're gonna be obsessed with the new playmat from House of Noah. And trust me when I say you guys will too, especially if you have a little one at home. I'm gonna leave a link to House of Noah link down below so you can check it out. You can get 10% off if you use my code haleyscorner with 2 R's, or just click the link below and browse it all for yourself. I love you all forever and always. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one where we'll keep the decor coming. You already know. Love you all and see you then.